Here we go again, feature multiplayer. This is in the LeMans Classic Series. I'm going to go for a challenge here. I'm going to see if I can make the tyres last the whole race. These are longer races with the LeMans, and it does require a pit stop. Normally, for 4 laps around LeMans, you normally want to be pitting at least once. I'm going to see, I'm going to try and get to the front first. That's the most important thing. But once we got to the front, I really need to start obviously pulling a gap ahead, and that will help us then towards the end of the race. When the tyres start to die, I'll have a nice gap to rely on. That's the plan. Whether it's successful or not, I do not know. But so far, so good. We're into second place. We've got one more guy to overtake. And then once we've overtaken him, we are on for the challenge. The most important thing to do right now is to overtake first place. And I'm just having a look. We are quicker than him in a straight line, which is good. Yeah, the reason I want to do it with this GT40 Mark II is I noticed around Catalonia that the tyres died, but I could still make the car competitive even though the tyres were dead. So I thought, if there's a track that I'm just not going to pit and just rely on the dead tyres, this is the one. It would have been either this or Daytona. I just feel like Le Mans has a bit more straight lines and just seems like the right track to do it. But here we are. We're just coming out the second chicane on the straight, and we are right behind first place now. We really need to overtake him by the end of the straight for this strategy to start working. So we're passing now. We just got to lose the toe. That's the next important thing. And we've gone off track. That'll probably be a penalty. No, it's not. Fair enough. Right, we really need to lose the toe here. I thought he would have switched it to the right hand side. That's why I switched to the left, but no, he just stayed behind us basically. But it's lap 1, at least we're in first place, that's the main thing. Just need to try and pull away here now. That's the next important thing. And that's not a good first corner to try and get away. And now we do get a penalty. Brilliant. That's a bit better. Right, we are just about to put, I think we're out. He's got he no longer has the drag now from us, so we should start to pull away here, which we are, and that's perfect. That's before even one lap is done, and we've gone off track again. That might be another penalty. No, okay. So far so good. I'm happy with that. The car feels good. It's me letting the car down, to be honest, right now. Outbraking myself, going wide in a lot of corners like we do there, lose the rear end slightly, and we're building up the penalties. This will be another penalty. Yeah, I'm just not hooking the car up correct at the moment. I'm trying to be as smooth as possible, not to kill the rear tyres as well, which is annoying because obviously I'm trying to not kill the tyres, so then we have tyres later in the race. But what's the point of having tyres later in the race if I've just got loads of penalties? But anyway, lap 1's done. We're 4.9 seconds ahead, which is good at the moment. Don't forget as well, it's not just the gap that I build that I'm going to be ahead. They're going to be making a pit stop as well. So things are looking good right now. I'm really starting to pull ahead of the pack. which is really good. I'm now at the beginning of the straight where we should have good, if not the best, straight line speed on this track. Yeah. So normally in the GT40 you would be pitting at the end of lap 2. That's normally, obviously, 4 laps. You just pit straight down the middle and you've got fresh rubber for both sides of the pit stop. But we've got to try and go an extra 2 laps without making a pit stop, which is going to be really difficult. But when I was driving this car, like I said earlier, I was driving it at Catalonia and it felt really good. Like, really good. Like, surprisingly good. And the tyres were dead, especially the front two. The front two were absolutely gone. There was no colour. It was just a black line either side for each tyre. And I could still be competitive. I could still defend with it. I'm just hoping, obviously, this track, if you can drive it like that around Catalonia with no tyre, surely a track like this would be better. So we're 9.5 seconds ahead. We've got a 1 second penalty. It'd be nice not to get no more penalties. Here we go. 10 seconds. 10 seconds ahead. This is going a lot better than I thought. I thought we were going to be scrapping for the first 2 laps. Then they would have gone into the pits on the end of the second lap, and then it would have been the gap that we would have had to try and keep to stop them from overtaking. But we are going to have the gap and their pit stop on top. I'm feeling really confident, actually, to be honest, right now. And it's looking good. I'm happy so far. Whoa, we lose the rear end now. We're not going off track though, that's the main thing. Not going off track, and we're sort of looking after the tyres, apart from losing the rear end back there. That's a better corner. So we're going to miss this now. We're not going to put it in the pit. We are going to stay out. And the tyres are not looking too good. I thought they would have lasted a bit longer, to be honest. We are definitely going to have a whole lap of no tyre. And the rear end's already starting to slide about. Well, there's second place. He's in the pit. Third place is in the pit. Fourth place? Okay, he's 15 seconds behind. Hold on. Second and third are in the pits. Fourth is in the pits. So they've all pit. They are on the fresh rubber now, so it's now down to us to stay ahead. And we are coming up to the straight very soon, which is a good thing. It means we won't lose too much time on the straight. Just get around this final corner. There we go. And push hard now. So it's going to be difficult, but it should be doable. I mean, a 45-second lead, do you know what I mean? But there is 2 laps to complete of Le Mans as well. But this is why I did it here. Obviously, it is mostly just straight lines. So as long as I can really feel it as well, going in and coming out as well. But I can this is what I mean about this car. It's weird. Even though the tyres are dead, you can still really get down on the power, which is really surprising. He's already eaten into the time. It was 45. He's run it down by about a second. apologies for that delay in the video. It's where the recording stopped on the Xbox. So this is literally just a little bit further down the road after the chicane. And he's still about 44 seconds behind, which isn't too bad. And we've gone off again. I think that'll be another penalty. We must be going that slow that it doesn't even give us a penalty now if we come off track a little bit. I don't think we'll be setting a fastest lap time as the fuel empties and the car gets lighter. The tyres are pretty much screaming right now. And we're going to have to do basically a whole lap with no rubber, which isn't good. So far, we're keeping it together. He's 43 seconds behind at the moment, but now we have come off of the straight sections of the track, and it is more cornering now, and you're going to see that delta go from around 44 to absolutely nothing, and we still have another whole lap to go. And it's very obviously tempting to just throw it in the lap, have fresh rubber for the last lap. It would probably be really close doing that, but then what's the point? There's no point then, because obviously I want to see if this is actually doable. It obviously depends as well on the drivers that are in your lobby. He's still hanging around 41 seconds, which is really strange. I thought he would have been eating our time right now, and he's definitely pit because he's got the number 1 next to his name. Tyres are really gone now. One more lap to go. It was around 45 seconds at the beginning of the last lap, and we've gone right off track there. That might be a penalty, that. Just not again. Again, we must be just going so slow. Look how we have to creep for that final point. And if you look at the delta now, that has really come down that now. He's starting to realise it now. Thankfully, we are coming up to the straight section of the track, so we shouldn't lose too much time. The car's really struggling now to stay on the track. It's sliding all over the place. It's really hard to control. You really have to think about it before going into corners. Thankfully, we've only got another 2 corners to come before we go into that straight, and he's about 30 seconds behind. Reeling us in, and we do have a penalty as well. I know he has a penalty. Everyone behind him has massive penalties, so we're not going to worry about him. It is only Turtles 88 at the moment that could possibly catch us. But we're on the straight now, so we shouldn't lose too much time. That should stay around 28 seconds now. Full speed, we're going to have to brake early, and even though we brake early, we're still going wide. That will definitely be a penalty. We must be going that slow. The game is registering that we're going off, but because we're going so slow, it's thinking that we're slowing down. It's got the penalty. It's around 27 seconds. This time last lap, it was about 43, 42 I think it was. So he's definitely reeled us in over the lap. If he increases his pace slightly, he should catch us, because our tyres are absolutely gone now. It's looking good at the moment. It's staying around 27 seconds. Third place and fourth place are nowhere near, and they've got penalties. Yeah. It is only Tails that is going to have a chance to do this, and it's not like he hasn't got the opportunity. Now that we're gone round that corner, he's knocked off nearly 2 seconds, but then you get back in the straight. Once we're up to speed, we won't lose any time. That's what I'm struggling with. Break early. Try and just find a way down the corner. It's at 24.5 right now. I think it's looking good, to be honest. He's not really reeling us in, I wouldn't say. It's about 25, but the car is all over the place now under acceleration. Can't really get the power down where you normally would. He's at 23 seconds. I don't think he's going to do this. I honestly thought this last lap just gone, he would have been reeling us in really quick. Even on the straights, there's still 2 chicanes in the middle of the straights, and then you've got the hairpin at the bottom, and then at the end of the other straight you've got a few corners there. He should have really been reeling us in here. He hasn't. I'm going to go off track. Yeah, that might be a penalty. No. We're just not gaining advantages even if we go off here. Look how slow we're having to go though just to get down there. He's 19 seconds behind. There's no way he's catching us. We go off there. That might be a penalty. That might be a penalty. I can't believe we're not getting penalties here. Nearly every single corner we've gone off. We're going to come around the final 2 corners. Now he's really starting to reel us in though. If you watch the Delta now, and there he is, you can see him on the map come in. We're going to get it sideways here. Do a nice little 360 and across the line. Just like that. So it can be done. But then, if you look at the best lap times, I mean, look, when we had fresh rubber, we were on a 4:01, and his best lap was 9 seconds slower, so he's not the best driver. I think if we had a better driver there, they would have easily overtaken us. I don't think that strategy would have worked. But hey ho, there was only 9 guys in the lobby. The challenge was not to pit, and we didn't. And yeah, we pulled it off. So fair play. I'll do another one when it's a larger lobby, hopefully some better drivers, and hopefully I won't go off as many corners. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next time.